I want you just to take a look at the map, because all Old Testament history happens on this map. All of Old Testament history happens here. Now, I want you to just kind of get a lay of the land, because before we're done tonight, you're going to be marching all over that land. Okay? Now, everybody locate Egypt on the map. Everybody locate Egypt. You see it? Okay? And notice the Great Sea. Now, what is the Great Sea? What's another name for that? The Mediterranean Sea. The Mediterranean Sea. Okay. Then I want you to locate the Red Sea. The Red Sea. The Red Sea looks like this. And that's victory, because we're coming out of Egypt. Okay? All right, so that's the Red Sea. And then I want you to locate the Persian Gulf. The Persian Gulf. Everybody find it? Okay, so it's Persian Gulf right there. And then flowing into the Persian Gulf are a couple of rivers. What are they? Tigris and Euphrates River. All right. And so that's kind of the lay of the land. And now I want you to take out another map. We're going to zero in. We're going to zoom in on map G. Find map G. Okay, map G. Now, map G, we're just zeroing in on the land of Canaan. We're just zeroing in on that. All right? And what we're going to do, this is called Canaan because this is where the sons of Canaan settled. You will remember that Canaan was the son of Ham. And that Ham was judged because of the way he looked at his father, looked at his father's nakedness, and so Noah cursed not Ham, but one of Ham's sons, Canaan. And so anyway, they settled in this area called Canaan. Now, we add to that the Dead Sea. I want you to write Dead Sea in the appropriate place there. Dead Sea. And it's dead because there's nothing growing in it. You'll notice water flows in, but water doesn't flow out. The Dead Sea, the only outlet is evaporation. And so through the years, it gets more and more of a concentration of chemicals. So it's sometimes called the Salt Sea. It has a mineral content of 33%. That is high. It has calcium and iodine and saline and potassium and bromide. It's the lowest surface elevation on the surface of the earth, right now at 1,388 feet below sea level. Below sea level. So isn't that incredible? It loses water by evaporation every year, and it's shrinking at a rate of about 1 meter per year right now. This is what a bicycle looks like if you leave it parked by the Dead Sea. If this will be on the test, so make sure that you... We add the River Jordan, and we add Edom. Edom was a nation that descended from Esau. You remember Esau was Jacob's brother. Esau was Jacob's brother. And he's also called Edom. You can remember that there was not a very good relationship between Jacob and Esau. And in fact, Jacob stole his birthright and stole his blessing and left Esau a very bitter man. Well, the descendants of Esau, or the nation of Edom, are called the Edomites, and they settled here right south of the Dead Sea. We hear about them a lot in Scripture. Then we're going to add two places in the north, Lake Hula and the Sea of Galilee. the Lake Hula was drained, so it's not there anymore, except on your map. And I don't know of any place that Hula figures into biblical history. The Sea of Galilee, of course, where Jesus walked on the water, and in fact his ministry was greatly, for the most part, centered in the region of Galilee. This is where Jesus walked on water. It's where the disciples caught the multitude of fish, up at the Sea of Galilee. Down south, we're going to add Kadesh Barnea. You notice it's about halfway. So in this space between the Dead Sea and here, you can just drop down about the same distance, and that's Kadesh Barnea. That was the place of the worst decision ever. We can't trust God. All right, and then we add Mount Carmel. Does anybody know what happened at Mount Carmel? No? That's where they had the first cookies and cream, Mount Carmel. No. That's where Elijah called down fire from heaven, remember? And the sacrifice was burned up, the stones were burned up, and all that, so that figures into 1 Kings. All right, we add Nazareth, where Jesus was born and grew up. Not born, but grew up. We're going to add Ammon. Ammon was the son of Lot by his youngest daughter after they came out of Sodom. The nation that resulted was Ammon. Its people were the Ammonites. There are some other similar names, but this is Ammonites. And then Moab, we add Moab. Moab was the son of Lot by his oldest daughter. And you will remember that one of the descendants of that was a Moabitess, was Ruth. And she figures right into the line of Jesus' messianic line. We add Jerusalem, the capital of city of Israel. And the way to put Jerusalem is that you measure from the top of the Dead Sea at the Jordan River. If you drew a line straight across and then divided that line into 3 parts, Jerusalem is 1/3 of the way over from the Dead Sea, from the Jordan River at the top of the Dead Sea. Okay, we add Shechem, where several important things happened. And here Abraham first offered a sacrifice to the Lord when he came into the land, when he first came into the land. And then we're going to add Bethel, where, you remember Jacob left home after his brother said, "I'm going to kill him." He had stolen his blessing. Remember that? He stole his blessing. And then Mom hears about it, and she says, "You've got to run." And so anyway, he is sent away. And the first night away from home, he stops at a place and sleeps, and he has a dream and a vision of angels ascending and descending. You remember that? And when he got up in the morning, he said, "I will call this Bethel, the house of God."
Please point out these last 2 locations.
Let's see. Bethel is right here, and Shechem is right here. Was that the last 2 we did? Okay, Shechem and Bethel, right there. By the way, you do have a map with all of this on it, but this exercise is to put it in your brain as you fill out a chart. But I want you to make the chart, the map yourself here. Okay, we're going to add Shiloh. Between Bethel and Shechem, we're going to add Shiloh. And the dot might not be in exactly the right spot, but we're going to add Shiloh right there. And that's where the tabernacle was set up and was for many years. Okay, now, it's a very mountainous country. And you can kind of see from this topography map that it is a very mountainous land. I want you to notice a couple of things. Right here, this is called the coastal plains. the Central Mountains, the Jordan Valley, or Jordan Rift it's called, and this is the Valley of Jezreel, where the final battle, the Battle of Armageddon, will be fought, right through here. This, of course, the Sea of Galilee and Lake Hula and the Dead Sea. So the Jordan River flows right down, connects these two together. All right. This is called the Transjordan side. The Transjordan side is on the east side of the Jordan River, called Transjordan side. All right, we're going to look at a couple of important mountains, not a lot, but a few important mountains. And I just would like to point out some of these just right on the map. And you have map 4A that has these on it. And you don't have to fill out because I think they're already provided for you. All right, first of all, up at the top is Mount Hermon, very high elevation. It may have been the location of the transfiguration of Jesus, where he was transformed before his disciples, Peter, James, and John. And then Dan is a location you'll read from Dan to Beersheba. Do we have a question? Okay. So just want to point out that's Dan. Sometimes they'll say from Dan to Beersheba, which kind of would mean from north to south, from the whole land of Israel. All right, then we have Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. Mount Ebal and Gerizim, and we're going to be talking about those, so I just want you to know where they are on the map. And right between those is Shechem. We have Mount Moriah, where Abraham offered Isaac. Mount Moriah. Later, Jerusalem is on this site, and we'll say a lot more about that. Mount Nebo, where Moses died and was buried. And that's, I think, all the... And this, of course, is Mount Carmel, which we've already talked about. Mount Carmel. The way to find Mount Carmel is you come up kind of smoothly up here, and all of a sudden the land does kind of a U-turn and then heads back up. That's because of Mount Carmel. That is right there. That's a good way to find that. And it's not quite, but almost at the bottom of the Dead Sea. I mean, the Sea of Galilee, as you would draw it on a map. Okay, now we're going to take out your map 1 again, or you can look at 1B, depending if you want the answers or not. Okay, map 1 or map 1B. And we're going to review some things here very quickly. First of all, the Persian Gulf and the Great Sea. And what was this down here? The Red Sea for victory. Okay, the Persian Gulf over there. And the Great Sea right here. What was this right here? Dead Sea. And up here? Sea of Galilee. What joins them? The Jordan River. Okay. You're doing good. Okay, we're going to add the Euphrates River and the Tigris River. And there's the Sea of Galilee, the Jordan River, the Dead Sea. That's the land of Canaan. Mount Sinai, we're going to put right there. I don't think that's where Mount Sinai was, but that's for later discussions. But for our purposes in this course, Mount Sinai is the traditional site right here. Now, Mount Sinai. Then you've got Egypt, which is about off the map. Egypt and Ur. Ur is over here, and Abraham is called from Ur. That's in what country today? Iraq. Iraq. Okay. And Haran, and this will figure in just a couple of minutes as well. Okay. Then we're going to, well, we've got Haran up there. Babylon. Babylon is on the Euphrates River. And Kadesh Barnea, you know where that is. And then Nineveh, I don't know if we've talked about Nineveh yet tonight. Nineveh is on the Tigris River. And that would be those. Okay.